Ah. The TV had the audio on, so that was probably created a bit of a feedback loop there for a second. Jose, hello, welcome. Bassett02, welcome to the stream. Probably going to be a little bit lower energy stream today because I am beating myself up working on this machine and streaming the process. Like, this is the third stream in this series, and also the Ender 3 V3. So, you know, a bunch of stuff this week. But we're getting to it now. And the colors on my TV are so washed out compared to the stream. Whatever. We are live. Welcome, folks. So we are going to be working on getting the skirts onto this machine. The stealth skirts are going on. Biney, I'm sorry, I don't know which way you would pronounce that, but hello, welcome to the stream. I got the feet with the missing piece. There's one more part that's printing, probably won't be done before we wrap the stream up. I don't want to be here for 3 hours again. Steve builds. Steve is going live in 2.5 hours. I don't want to like overlap on his. I cut the motor shafts down, so yes. My goal for this stream, preferably, hopefully, is get the skirts installed, get the X rail on. I lubricated that. Maddie, welcome. I lubricated that, and I did cut down the motor shafts. So, camera angle change. There's our cut down motor shafts. They used to be about yay long. Now they're 50 millimeters long. So, they're cut down. So we will get these installed too, most likely. All right, time to get the skirts on. Let's get to it. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to overlap with Steve. I want folks to be able to go watch Steve builds. He's the one who has a better stream schedule than I do, so not stepping on his toes with my stream. All right. Got to start by putting feet on. Some of these turned out a little better than the others, so I'm going to put the better ones to the front of this thing. Where's the fourth one? Here's the fourth one. This one and this one have a little bit of like a bloop. I don't know if you can see that. A little bit of whiteness on this one. So, really cracking this thing out. Yeah, I want this done because I've got too many projects stacked up right now. I've got to get things done. I can't be tying stuff up. Have you improved? Have they improved the Phys X spindly X rail? Heard it has bending issues with high speed movement and mass. Well, this mass momentum. This use white heat gun to remove that. I don't find that works because the whiteness is not generally stress like people attribute it to be. It's adhesion promoter on the surface. We'll try real quick. Heat gun. That's hot. Yeah, I guess it is making a difference. It is making a bit of a difference. Alright, you were right. I was wrong. But I figured it was adhesion promoter because I used that Magigoo stuff. There's definitely like a dip spot where I probably have a bed. Oh, this was printed on my bamboo, so crappy. Little ISO. The ISO doesn't do so good with this bamboo stuff. This bamboo adhesion promoter. Isopurple doesn't do a great job with it. What was I responding to? Oh, the rail. I'm not worried about it. If it bends, it bends. This project is definitely chasing grams, so there's already a lot less mass flying around here than there is normally. We're gonna find out. If it screws up, it screws up, and then I'll say, hey, it was screwed up, so I'll put a regular extrusion in or whatever. But for right now, I want to lose the weight, so this thing's going on a diet. All right, let's get these on here. What size screws should these be? These aren't standard. They're not the standard feet, so I need an M3 roll in. I believe it's like that. Yeah. M3 roll in and an M5 roll in. Actually, these probably call for hammer nuts, don't they? Nope, roll-ins. Okay. M38 and M510. Just installed those. Oh right, I saw your picture of yours. Your build's looking great. I saw that earlier on the Twitters. I mean, it's kind of self-serving of me to say that yours is turning out great, as it looks very similar to mine. So, you know, but it does look great. Tricolor cheese graters you're going with. All right. Hey, where's that? This could stand to be like a hollowed out error. My brain's not working. I got a good night's sleep last night, but I'm probably streaming a little too much this week. Kicking my own rear. Total coincidence. Oh no, I believe it's a coincidence. I don't think either one of us planned that. I'm just saying it's funny of me to say that that it's turning out that way. I just think it's funny. All right. First one of these. Is there a good view on that? Yeah, okay view. Okay view. God, the angular look of these things, they look so good. I think. This is not one of those. Oh right, I forgot I had to actually have to decide based on where it's going to end up. Yeah. I should probably tweet that I'm live. I tweeted about it happening, but not that I'm alive. Nuno, welcome. What? One might call them sharp looking. I do agree. I do agree. Okay, M3 and M5 hammer nuts. Might as well just pull out all the ones I need here. Have them on my V0 with the extended feet. They look awesome. Extended feet makes it V0 a little tippy. Yeah, I was thinking about doing them on my V0 with the wider feet. Not sure if anybody has released that file design, like the extended width feet to make it a little less tippy on a V0. But I still like to do that on my V0 anyway, personally. But snazzy even. Yeah, snazzy, sure. How's everybody's day going? I feel like I blinked and now I'm back on stream, so if they were truly stealthy, wouldn't be able to see them. True. There are not versions of these skirts for the V0 yet. I don't have time to design them, and I believe that's pretty much what the original creator of this, the maker of this design said as well. Because the V0 has the motors integrated into the corners. V0, the V2.4. You know, it require a lot more work to design these into that. Okay. Error. Let's get these in place. Did I not put a 5 in there? I put a 5 in the wrong spot. No, wait. That's the right one. It's a 3 in this one. I was able to fix the bent lead screw. Visa card works great. Yep, that is the cure-all. It's a heck of a tool, isn't it? It's a heck of a tool. I had to run out today and pick up more Mobilux grease this morning at Grainger. So, and of course, since I went to Grainger, my wallet was not appreciative. of that workout. Yep. Actually, the grease was cheap. It was that I picked up like some PB Blaster and anti-seize when I was there, and God, the anti-seize was ridiculously overpriced. I don't know if that's just the price of anti-seize these days, or if it was a Granger thing. I don't know why this is going in crooked. This one's going in crooked. What's up with this one? Get it threaded through here. I've been teardropping all my holes in designs lately, per my personal preference. They may have your back, but they'll make sure you know it. Yeah. Yeah, they do. But they had what I needed. I was able to pick up some a tube of Mobilux grease today rather than having to wait. So I was able to get the X-Rail greased today. I cleaned and greased it before stream, so it's ready to roll. So I don't have to mess around with getting greasy on stream and just go. See, you finally hit 1,000 subs. Thank you very much. Yes, we did. Thank you. Thank you. Hate anti-seize. That stuff never comes off. It is terrible, but it serves its purpose. I didn't even need it. It was just there. And the last couple of times I did need it. I didn't have it. So, you know, it's like, I'm here. Make the trip worth my time. Make the trip a little more worth my time. This feels like it's sitting back too far on this side. I don't know why. Do you use Loctite for 3D printer screws? I do on important or motion system components. Like these skirts, I'm not worried about Loctiting. But every, like the linear rail screws, the like pulleys and all the motor mounts, those I Loctite everything. Yeah, there's actually a physical Granger store pretty close to me here. So it was a pretty easy run this morning. I don't have the OBSBot software open right now, so I can operate that camera. Let me open that quick. I don't know why, but the software always opens on the wrong screen. It refuses to open where I close it, like every other thing in Windows does. It just opens where it wants. Anytime now, anytime now. Alright, whatever. I'm going to roll forward a little bit while that's thinking about what it's going to do. There it is. OBSBot. Oh, it's pretty much oriented exactly as I would have anyway. Pretty much oriented how I would have. Ah, son of a bitch. I put these wrong. I put the M5 where the M3 should be. Ugh, I hate rolling out. I hate rolling out roll-ins. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it. Went to buy acrylic to make some V0.2 panels. Yeah, I've got acrylic in stock for that, to make new panels for my 0.2 upgrade. I ordered some in quite some time ago, and I keep some sheets in for various projects, but I specifically did get it for my V0. I I just did that again. Good thing I know I need M3s on this side, because I keep putting M3s on the side that needs an M5. That's better. Ay, ay, ay. Alright. Last set of ACM Trident sheets from West 3D. Good guys. They are good guys. I quite like West 3D. They are good folks. I'd like to work with them more. Like my V0.2 upgrade, they sent me some Berserker pulleys and a few odds and ends for that project. So trying to see if I can get to Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival and see them again. We shall see. They will be at Rep. Yeah, I'm not 100% if I'm going yet. I want to go, but I don't have a sponsor right now, and I can't really afford it. I can't really justify it if I'm not if it's not sponsored. So I traveled way too much last year on my own dime, and spent way too much on travel expenses. I've gotta rein it in and be more mindful about it. You know, if it's not something that's paying for itself business wise, it can't happen. So, and I've also got another event that week. So if and when I do go, if I go, it adds up quick. It does. Especially hotels nowadays are so expensive. Flights are shockingly cheap, but hotels, whew. Yeah, paying $100, $200 a night adds up real quick. I've got another event that exact same week. It actually, the event I have to go to starts on like Wednesday and ends on Friday. So I will have to go from South Carolina directly to Colorado if I do go before I can come home. So we'll see. Has yet to be decided. I've got a couple feelers out for some sponsors. Hopefully somebody comes on board and I can justify it. There's some things I'm going to be... some things I'm excited to see. I know we're going to be there, so... That's all I can say. That's all I can say. But I'm a bit biased, but I want everyone to come. Oh, you got full of tiny cracks from cleaning with acrylic with, yeah, my I think I made that mistake at one point on my 2.4. I knew better, but I still did it. I used IPA on my 2.4's doors, and they're all streaky now. Haven't cracked, thankfully. I use Windex for everything. I try to use Windex for everything, but at this point, I'm probably going to try and maybe once this is up and running, I might do an upgrade stream and a maintenance stream on my 2.4. I've got click-clack. I've got a click-clack door kit for it. So one-piece acrylic door with the, clicky, whatever, refrigerator door hinge, latch. So, yeah. So I'm going to replace it with a single piece anyway. I want to do... There's the mini click-clack. I forget what they call it. There's a mini click-clack for the V0, and I'd like to do that on my V0 build. My only problem is I'm worried about how it'll stick out from the front of the machine and obscure the touchscreen. I hate... No offense to anybody who, if you're part of this or you've done this, but I hate it when people reference things and then they don't link to what they're referencing. Like the mini click-clack, the mini single piece Iconic Fab, welcome. Lotus, welcome. Sir McSquishy, welcome. I don't think I said that. Hobo Banana too. The mini click-clack for the V0s and the Printer for Ants projects, they reference in the GitHub that there is some way to extend the screen forward for the Waveshare touchscreen. they reference that there's a way to like push the screen forward with a skirt extension or whatever, but then they don't link to it, and I've been unable to find it. They reference that it's on somebody's GitHub, and I'm sorry, but a GitHub is a terrible way to release files. It just is. It's terrible. Make it, not GitHub, Discord. Sorry, GitHub's great. Discord. It's on somebody's Discord somewhere, and I'm like, I can't find the Discord it's supposed to be in, let alone then find the file on the Discord. McGuire's plastic polish. That's a good idea. Try that. I wonder if McGuire's doesn't have some type of plastic treatment that might help prevent film buildup from like printing ABS and ASA and stuff. Then to search it in a channel, yeah, man, it's channels upon channels. I use tempered glass for click clack. Less issues in cleaning is much clearer and less attracts dust. That's a good idea. I might have to play with that. I might end up putting click clack on this, depending how much I like it on the 2.4. That's a good idea. Discord is a real pain to search. If you don't know the way to like search within a specific channel, it's so dumb. I kind of hate Discord. Like, it's great for chatting. It's terrible for support and like the Clipper groups and the Voron team and all the... They should be on forums where it can be easily searched or searched by Google, not just through Discord's app. It's... I forget who... Epos Vox. Adam, Epos Vox has kind of said that, like, the rise of Discord really hurt the internet as far as information sharing is concerned, and I don't disagree. Small Discords are fine, large isn't. Totally reasonable. I'm in a couple of pretty small Discords for, like, the specific things, and they are much better. You're right. Having a horrible time with the Pi 4 not keeping a connection. I'm trying to search the Voron Discord. Half the Wi-Fi restarts every 5 minutes. Have you just tried a fresh reinstall of Debian? Of the base operating system? Also, are you booting off an SSD? That's the most common problem I've seen. I don't know what it is. Something about the bootloader with booting a Raspberry Pi off of an SSD. Booting off SD card, okay. Something about booting off SSD. My 2.4 stopped working on Wi-Fi for a couple of months. Out of nowhere, it just stopped. And then I finally, I just ran an Ethernet cable through one of the holes in the skirt and ran it like that for a couple months. Finally, I fixed that, and then I ran a cable to the keystone so I could cleanly wire it for Ethernet, and then the Wi-Fi just started working again. Yeah. Works with Wi-Fi, but when idle for a while, Wi-Fi stops working. Weird. You have 8 rack mount Pis running on 2.5 SSDs with no problem for years. Yeah, my 2.4 is booting off a 2.5 SSD. This is going to be booting off of an NVMe SSD. I think it's... I've heard some people say they think it's down to like power issues, which doesn't make sense that only the Wi-Fi would be a problem. I don't know. Bad Wi-Fi. You know, well, there's a good question. Do you have multiple access points or multiple routers? Because the most common problem I've had with Wi-Fi on a Pi has been my Pi trying to connect to a different router, which it can detect the SSID, it can detect that network, but it can't get a good enough connection to get a reliable connection. It's locked to a single router. Okay, well that shouldn't be an issue then. Yeah. These skirts would be awesome if only you could CAD well enough to get the Pi TFT 50 to work. I mean, I have the Waveshare 50. It's not the Pi TFT 50, but you know, it's another. You bound the MAC address to it. Yeah, well, that should do the job. Where are my footsies? Here they are. Not the feet, the bottoms that go on the bottom of here. A little cruddy. Clean off a little excess from mouse ears on this. Building a 300 LDO cube yourself. Awesome. Clean off, clean off. Personally dislike the trend of everything being on Wi-Fi. If it doesn't move, it shouldn't be. I don't disagree. I am intending, if anybody watched the video when I built this backdrop here, there is Wi-Fi. There's 2 drops, 2 keystones at each end. So I do intend to hardwire my machines. Like this one will probably get hardwired, so will the 2.4. But just to kind of reduce the congestion in my home Wi-Fi. Everything's on Wi-Fi here, you're right. Dennis, hello. Yeah, I personally switched my network to Ubiquiti. I switched my network to all Ubiquiti stuff, and I put a dedicated Ubiquiti access point in the studio, and then I bound everything in the studio to that. I should really have a separate VLAN for machines, and that's been a huge improvement for me. ASUS Wi-Fi mesh. Honestly, I had trouble with the ASUS router I was running before. What display are you using for this Trident? I'm going to be using a WaveShare 5-inch. I'm going to be using a WaveShare 5-inch. The BTT 3.5 you tried next is total lousy crap. Really? I never had a problem with that, I don't think. Or is it the 5-inch? I don't remember if I ever used the 3.5. The 3.5 TFT is garbage. I hate the 3.5 TFT. The Pi TFT 3.5, I think I've used that without problem. Okay, what size screws are these supposed to be? Probably M3x6. Yeah, M3x6 for these. I know I have them here. I know I have them here. Somewhere. Ah, M3x6. Here we go. Yeah, I ran a couple of the I ran a few of the TFT 35s, not the Pi TFT 35, the regular TFT 35s. I ran a couple of those on like Ender 3s, and I never had anything but problems with them. Projects in Dad's Garage, welcome for stopping by. Thanks for having you, and appreciate it. Thank you very much. Speaking of metrics, if you can think to, please, if you're up for it, please consider dropping a like on the stream. It is greatly appreciated. This is the wrong corner for this one. This one should be over here. Let's switch up our scene. Needs some hitting to work. Yeah. Little percussive maintenance never hurt. Okay, it generally hurts a lot of things, but you know, hey, it is what it is. Any of the Waveshare widescreens have good clipper support. Mainsail support. They have decent clipper screen support, I think. My next 2.4 build, I'm going to design and put the 7-inch wide. That one. I'm going to put that one with a Pi 4 on the back of it. I'm going to design a housing for this and put this on the front of my next 2.4 build. So, I'll find out. I will find out, but I'm fairly sure it has decent support. I believe Joshua Murray, the dude who sent me the superpower motors for this build, I believe he's running one of those on one of his machines, or was. Pretty sure. Yeah, I think it'll look really good on the, Do you like the Mark IV? So far, I like the Mark IV better than I anticipated I would. I was not a fan. If anybody's seen it, I did a whole video about, not a whole video, but a section of a video when I was getting rid of my Mark III. I never liked my Mark III. I bought my Mark III, and I really just never connected with it as a printer. The Mark IV fixes almost everything I disliked about the Mark III, personally. I was wondering why the board ports aren't accessible from the skirt-like ported slot holes on the side for easy access. I don't know what you mean. On this thing? Are you still waiting on your XL? I canceled my XL order. I forgot to ask. I just found out you're from Philly area. Pat's, Geno's, Tony Luke's. If I had to pick of those, I would say Tony Luke's. Definitely not Pat's or Geno's. That's just tourist bullshit in my opinion. My personal favorite was always Jim's. I'm vegan now, so I don't eat any of them anymore. But when I did, Jim's was my personal favorite. Why'd you cancel the XL? It was just taking too long and I couldn't afford it at the time. Still couldn't today, probably. Error. Brain fart. It was taking a lot longer. The whole scene changed in that time. And like when the XL first announced, I was all about it because I wanted the multi-material machine. But then the Bamboo X1 came out after that. And I was like, oh, well, this is a multi-material machine. I don't need the functionality of the bigger, fancier one. So it was really hard for me to justify the expense of it at the time when my pre-order was coming up. Because I was an early pre-order. I could have had it a long time ago, but I couldn't justify it when my number came up. So I canceled my order. So I really want to get one to play with. I really want to get one to play with, especially after playing with my Mark IV. I want to play with the Mark IV more, of course. I almost considered... I want to do some other streams this week, like assembling the enclosure for the Mark IV, but I don't have time. Well, I wanted this out of the way before I do that. Anyway, I'd love to mess with the XL. I'd love to play with the XL. Joel's Orange Storm Giga showed up. Yep. Joel's Orange Storm Giga showed up. I'm pretty sure Uncle Jesse's is on the way. And It's Boy in Space, Ben. Ben got his as well. I'm in the process of building a Trident. A very, very janky Trident. Hey, whatever works for you. Thinking of the selling point of the XL was a 5-color or material printing. Honestly, the XL's big thing for me is material printing and more than color. Color's great and, you know, useful, etc. But multi-material, true multi-material. A Bamboo is not going to do that. The Bamboo cannot feed TPU reliably through the AMS. So the Bamboo just can't do it. it can do multi-material in like support material or like PETG and PLA, but if you want to do flexibles or I guess mostly flexibles, you need to have, to reliably do it, you need to have multi-head, multi-tool changing setup. And that's the big selling point of the XL. I think personally, in my opinion, for the most part, Joel and I, when I went to Joel's place and we did we built his Voron 2.4, a way more efficient MMU. Yeah, totally that. Absolutely. That's definitely a selling point. When I went to Joel's place and we built that Voron 2.4, we discussed this, and I never posted it. I did like a little quick mini interview with him where like some of my patrons asked questions. I didn't have enough of them to flesh out a whole video, so I never posted it. I asked him, what do you think about the XL? Like, so many people were down on the XL because of the price of the Bamboo X1. You can buy an X1 for, you know, a third the price of a decked out XL. So people were down on the XL, and he and I kind of discussed it. And I think the reality of it is, in my opinion, that ABS TPU sounds interesting. To me too. Like, think about printing a screwdriver handle with an ABS core for strength, but then grip on the outside with TPU. Or like I've been seeing people do door wedges where the outside is rubbery and the inside is plasticky. You know, like, there's a lot of that I would love to play with. Or like flexible hinges where the flexible hinge is TPU and then the rest of the print is ABS or whatever. I think the XL is more of a light industrial machine. But everybody, because Prusa has been so consumer focused for so long, people can't divorce themselves from the idea that it is a consumer machine when it's kind of not. And had the Bamboo X1 not launched, it might have maintained its position as a consumer machine more so. I think Prusa is really headed a little more toward industrial and commercial. Everybody does eventually. Ultimaker, MakerBot, you know, everybody, Taz, Lulzbot, everybody kind of has to move away from consumer at some point because there's always going to be a Chinese company coming in behind to undercut you and sell things as cheap as they possibly can. I guarantee you by the end of the year, I'm not aware of anybody working on this, I don't know, but I guarantee you by the end of the year, somebody will release a cheap tool changer out of China, and it'll probably be hot garbage. Looking forward to Creality's much cheaper take on the XL. Somebody will do it. And it'll be subpar compared to the XL, but for consumers who don't need a machine to run all day every day, it'll be fine, probably. So I don't know. I would really love to play with the XL. Hopefully I'll get a chance. I don't know. I still want to get one. We'll see. I'm not gonna lie. I legitimately, when I built these, the printer shelf behind me here, when I built this workbench that the printers sit on, I specifically looked at the dimensions of the XL to make sure the XL would fit on it if and when that ever happens. Two-stage feeder in the Bamboo AMS. I mean, there is a two-stage feeder in the AMS now. I don't know. Like, I think I've never tried using flexibles in the AMS. I bet 95A will probably work okay. But anything softer than that won't. And even then, they don't recommend it. Oh, the problem isn't the feeder, it's the cross-material contamination in the nozzle. That's a point. That's a solid point. And that's definitely the problem I've run into when I've tried multi-material with the Bamboo. I have tried multi-material with the Bamboo. Jess G, what have I missed? Just working on this, talking printers. I've tried multi-material on the Bamboo X1, and like I've tried using PLA and PETG as support material for each other. So like if I was doing a PETG print using PLA as a support material, doing a PLA print using PETG as a support material, because it works. I've done it and it has worked out for me, but then like sometimes it just works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not work at all, because they just don't adhere to each other. And then even if the print works, the supports are working because there's only a little bit on the supports, the purge tower doesn't work. Because the plural makes in the house, welcome! Because the purge tower has a lot more going on to it than the actual supports would, and it turns to crap, and the whole print fails as a result because it just won't adhere properly. I've also had a heat creep issue while doing that because cycling between the PLA and the PETG temperatures was causing problems. It's not ideal. You really, really need multi-tool. IDEX, tool changer. You should only change material on the interface layer. That's all I was doing the last time I tried it. All I was doing was changing material on the interface layer, and it was not a good time. It was, the last time I tried it was that, if anybody watched my P1P to P1S upgrade video, that had the, the chamber filter setup, the the design is terrible. I said that in the video. The design's terrible. It prints a lot on top of supports. And I tried to use PLA as an interface material for that, and it just didn't work. Randy Lovin, thank you about the 1,000 subs. Appreciate it. Yes, we did get there. Thank you. All right. Skirts. Let's keep rolling with skirts. Skirts. All right. Somebody was asking earlier about the lack of any ports on the stealth skirts. That's the thing. I did design this one. Let me camera switch. I designed this one. It's a side skirt that has a hole in the middle of, has a keystone jack hole for a USB port. It'll be in the front over here. Will it? Yeah, it'll be on this side front over here when it's installed. So I have a USB port toward the front of the machine. Probably works better with flat overhangs. It works better with bridging, in my experience anyway. When I did use PLA like as a PETG support or vice versa, it worked well with bridging. The problem was on that part was it wasn't bridging. It was like the whole part printed on top of support. So like the PLA wouldn't stick at the outer perimeter and then to fill in between. So if you had a part that like, you know, had two big peaks, yeah, bridging. And so like if you just had a big bridging section that needed support, it works beautifully for that. But actually printing on supports, nope. Not in my experience. Okay. So this is in the middle here. Right now, what's printing now is this keystone jack on my 2.4, this skirt for here. I had it printed already, I do. I got the power here. That's this one. Bloop. Yeah, I do have it already. But I didn't put an umbilical pass-through anywhere on my back skirts. I mean, I'm going to run an umbilical outside of the machine. I don't love doing that, but on this machine it just makes sense. So the umbilical is going to go out through the skirt, up along the back panel, and then in through the exhaust port area on the back panel. And if anybody has an umbilical that they design that they like that has a Bowden tube or reverse Bowden tube and an umbilical pass-through on that, exhaust outlet area, please let me know. I don't feel like designing one from scratch. I will if I have to, but So anyway, I redesigned this keystone jack plate with a pass-through for the umbilical and a pass-through porthole for filament runout sensor that's going to get mounted on the outside of the frame. So I had to reprint this. That's printing now. All right. We need 2 M3s. This needs 2 M3s. M3s. Let me put this table down a bit. I'm forgetting that I'm on a standing desk. That's silly. I could bring this down to a level you folks can see better. Advantage of running the umbilical outside. There's already one by Whopping, I think. Okay, I'll have to look. I tried looking this morning. I couldn't find one. I believe you, but the reason for the outside or going outside is because with the Trident, as the Trident is the fixed frame, there's not really room to go anywhere inside with an umbilical. Like, especially since I'm running the 9mm gantry, 9mm belts, the area where you would normally mount like the tool head cable or like the Y-axis mounted umbilical, there's no room on this one. So it's kind of got to go outside so that it can be up above the tool head and above the gantry to come in through the back panel. That's what it comes down to. Best way I can explain it anyway. What size is it? I'll use a PG7 most likely. I've got a pile of PG7s here, so. Lexinator. Recently discovered your channel. It's awesome. Thank you for your 3D printing, your passion. Thank you to my passion for 3D printing has been rejuvenated. Awesome. Steve Builds ran his through the frame. My cable's too big to run through the frame. Yeah. The cable I'm running, it's too fat. Yeah, way too fat. Because this cable is both, it's an umbilical with USB and CAN in it, so it's 8 conductors and shielded. It's way too big. It's way too big. So there's just nowhere here to run it through. Have a GitHub link if you want it. Please drop it in the chat. I don't know if it'll appear in the chat. Message me on Twitter or something like that. Bigger belts, bigger cables. Yeah, I mean, all the Gucci parts. Yeah. We are kind of going big on this. Let me change the other camera angle quick. Okay. Bloop. There we go. M3's in here. Lexinator, thank you very much for the kind words. I appreciate that. Sorry, I didn't... I was kind of off on a tangent there. But thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear I can be some type of inspiration. You probably... I'm pretty sure the YouTube chat filters out links. Let me see if I can see it on my end. Yeah, I don't see it on my end. Trident is Core XY, yes. Any idea on when the... Sent you a Twitter DM. Thank you. Any idea when the Mercury files will be available? Sometime this week. I really wanted to get to it last week. I'm using the closed cover HEPA filter place with a Bowden tube collet in an angle. I have that file, and that's what I'm running. That's what I'm running on my 2.4. The problem is I also want the PG7 umbilical to go through there. And I don't feel like I can design it and make that happen. I just don't feel like it. So yeah, I will be releasing the files for my Mercury one. It's just yeah, it's time. Like, I didn't get done working on this in the stream until almost 10 p.m. last night. By the time I was done, I had to go eat something, and then I just passed the fuck out last night. So Plural Makes, you might think it's an interesting project. We're turning our Mark III into an IDEX Mark III with leftover Mark III S Plus parts. Okay, that is interesting. That is definitely interesting. I'm curious to see how that works out for you. I believe in you. I'd really like to play with a decent IDEX machine. There's a lot of machines nowadays that are really taking, seems like a good stab at IDEX. I'd love to give it a try. We'll see. I've had one or two machines in my inbox that that could be a potential possibility. Come on. Pre-threading this through here. There's no access holes in this design. There really should be for the hex wrench to travel through. It's one thing that I would change if I really fully remix this. Be getting an IDEX in a few weeks. Cool. I'm going to be right back. I got to turn the heat down. It's a little warm in here. I don't think it's the heat. Now that I go do that, it's 70 degrees in here because it's 65 degrees outside. That's why. I don't care. Stop. Any interest in making a VZ bot? Yes, I do. I'd love to build a VZ bot. I just have to find time. Well, not find time. Dutch dude, 0G in the house. Welcome. Speaking of 0Gs, we got 0G in the house. Error. I forget what was I talking about? A VZ bot. If Mello wants to send me a kit, it's pretty much what it comes down to. I don't have a relationship with Mello. They've never sent me anything. So, Mello, I have no relationship with Mello. They've never sent me a single product, so I don't expect them to send me a kit anytime soon. If they did, I'll build one. But that's it. Simon has kind of hinted at offering to send me one before, but I'm fairly sure that if he did, it would have to come out of his pocket, and I'm not cool with that. Like, I'd rather support Mello only send me stuff when I send them money. Yeah, exactly. And I'm not paying for that. So I'd love to build one, but I have so many machines. I can't justify the expense of all the projects I'd love to build. Not currently anyway. Maybe if YouTube starts to pay a little better at some point, maybe, but that would be the dream, wouldn't it? Just build whatever the heck I want to build. Just hit a 6-minute benchy on your Merc 1. Awesome. Just got a copper heater blocks from Mello to play with. I've got one of those floating around here. Like, I buy Mello products. I've bought Mello products, but I don't have any working relationship with Mello, is what I mean. Oh. My neck's stiff. My neck is stiff. Everybody sends me stuff when I send them money. I need to change that. Yeah. I wish people would just send me money and I didn't have to send them anything. That's the dream, isn't it? Are any of my Vorons all-wheel drive? Nope. They are not, and I doubt I'll build one. I doubt I will. Like, if I'm gonna do all-wheel drive, I'd rather do something like a VZ bot that's already kind of set up for that. Finished the Prusa Mark IV enclosure yesterday. I really got to build my Mark IV enclosure. Hopefully this week I can get to that. Hopefully. We accept money too. Yeah. How does a printer be all-wheel drive? It has 4 motors. So it's core. It means doing Core XY with 4 motors. So your X and your, well, A and B motors, then not really X and Y. Your A and B motors, each belt, so your 2 belts in your Core XY system, each belt is driven by 2 motors in a all-wheel drive system. So many screws, but the thing is sturdy. I'm pretty sure I could stand on that. Yeah, I know Nero was saying there's so many screws in the thing. I'm not looking forward to putting it together, but hopefully I can do it in one stream. I don't want to have to do it, break it up. Sounds complicated. No front idler. Yeah, basically your front idlers are replaced with motors instead of idlers. Is there an all-wheel drive V0? Not really. Yes and no. There's a 4-motor. There's a 4-motor V0 setup, but it's not all. People call it all-wheel drive, but it's just 4 motors. It's not necessarily all-wheel drive because all 4 motors are at the back. I think Seaboard did that. I don't think they designed it, but they did build one. They brought it to Smurf to display. I honestly didn't get much of a look at it because I was told the folks at Seaboard are not fond of me, so I avoided them. I was told they were not fond of me, so I said, you know what? I don't need to go talk to them then. Any plans to build an LDO Milo? Yes, I would love to build a Milo. Hopefully in a couple of months. Use an electric screwdriver, otherwise your wrists will be gone. Good to know. Good to know. And unfortunate, because I gotta find and then charge my electric screwdriver. I haven't used it in months. Yeah, I really, weren't you one of the first YouTubers to show their kits? Yes, but I was critical of them. Yes, but I was rather critical of them, and they were not fond of that from what I was told. They've never said anything to me. As soon as Jason sends one over. I mean, pretty much. It's mostly just that I've got so many projects on my plate right now, I don't have time. If Jason sent me a Milo kit tomorrow, I wouldn't have a chance to work on it for probably 2 months. Just with the way my schedule is right now, so that's kind of why I'm taking advantage of this week where I don't have much going on. And just like hammering away on this project. I have a Seaboard Youth kit. Yeah, I reviewed the Youth kit, and it's fine. It just had problems, and so I was critical of it. They've updated, I believe, they've updated a lot of the things I had problems with. And then they sent me their next kit, and it had some of the same problems, so I was critical. Oh no. You know, you want a review, you're not going to get a glowing review, you're getting an honest review. And from what I'm told, this is secondhand information, I'm just told they were not fond of me anymore. So, I don't really care. These skirts do look so good. A little finicky getting in there, but they do look really good. Oh, there is an M5 in this one. Good. I screwed up and put an M5 in here, so that's good. M5 roll-in, that is. Is that like an ISO grid pattern? I don't know. It's basically 2 hexes and then a weird little peaky design in the middle. I wouldn't be the one to want to create that grid pattern. I know that. I know that. Oh, that's M3. That's not an M5. I didn't put an M5 in there. Where did I just drop that hex wrench at? There it is. Cheese grater look. Yeah, it's a cheese grater look. Bloop. Let's adjust this camera angle. No, I do not want to do a firmware update right now. Thank you very much, ObsBot. There we go. No, I don't want to do a firmware update while I'm actively using the camera. Thank you. And this keystone one. Like I mentioned, I put a keystone. I remixed this and put a keystone in it. Satin PI sheet that Hector has? Yeah, that's what I have on when I did my Merc 1. I think that's what I have on my Merc 1. The like black satin PEI sheet. I have one on my... Or wait, is it a different finish? I've got the black PEI sheets from Hector on my X1, my Bamboo X1, and my Merc 1. Yeah. I really like those. I have it on my 2.4 as well. I was a little disappointed with the 2.4. Oh, they have a newer version. Okay. I'll bug Hector about that. Check it out. It's great. Cool. I really like the existing version they had, so I definitely want to check that out. What do you call it? Oh, I have it on my 2.4 as well. I have one on my 2.4. The only thing I was disappointed about on the 2.4 was that it's single-sided. I really prefer a double-sided so I can, you know, use both sides, but... Do I prefer Clipper via web interface or screen? Web interface. Web interface by a long shot. I don't use the screen for much more than like loading filament or maybe preheating things when I don't feel like going to the computer. I think this might be missing. Nope, it's thin. Never used the screen since you started using Clipper? Yeah, I mean, like my V0 is headless. I don't have a screen on that at all currently. I will when I redo it, but currently it's headless. All right. Boom, there's our side skirts. To me, the Mini 12864 that comes with Vorons is useless. Agreed. It's great when you're trying to get a print started and don't have a screen and bad Wi-Fi signal. You need one of these. You need one of these. So, little travel Wi-Fi router. I picked up one of these because of that exact problem. When we built the Trident at Earth, when Steve and I built the Trident at Earth, it was a total freaking nightmare to get the firmware set up on it. So I picked up one of these after that. Steve has one of these as well. He just didn't have it with him at the time. I picked one of these up. I used it at Smurf, and it is so great. So great. It's a good travel router, too. When you're in a hotel room, if it has a LAN port, you can plug a LAN port into this, and then you have your own private Wi-Fi network in your room. So you're more secure, and have a much better Wi-Fi signal than the hotels usually do. So, a little travel router from what's it called? GLINet. GLINet. Love that thing. I keep it in my camera bag. Take it with me on trips. Okay, we got 2 of the sides done, except for the part this one's printing right now. Let's get the other side on. Front one. And 2 M3s. All right. God, my foot itches. Reminds you of student days when you ran on a phone hotspot. Yeah, no fun. Use Mobile Raker. I've never tried Mobile Raker. I really need to set it up and give it and use it. There's a couple things I need to do. I need to try that. I need to put webcams on more of my machines that I use on a regular basis so I can check printers from like bed. And I need to set up Obico. I'd like to set up Obico more so not for the AI like spaghetti detection, but more so just for remote monitoring all of my printers. So yeah. First few layers after the first layer look like a crumble, like a little crumbled up. Is it the walls or is it actual layers? Is it only the outer perimeter where it looks crumbly and messy? Or is it infill and everything? Did the op spot just click off? Kind of looks like it did. Zoom out. It's on human tracking. No. I don't want tracking. Don't track me. It thought I hand signaled it. That's the problem. Pi Zeros make good USB webcams. That's a pretty good idea. 94, welcome. Need to look at NDI cams. The problem, I think your problem you're going to find with NDI cameras is, I'm pretty sure NDI requires licensing. Like it's not, I don't think it's an open standard. So I think that usually drives up the price of any device that uses it. Unfortunately. I could be wrong about that. I'm not 100% clear on that. NDI is great, but it's buggy in my experience. It's been great on this OBSBot camera. I'm using it right now. This is on NDI right now, but I get that. I've heard mixed things about other implementations of it. License for products, not software. Yeah. I picked up 10 Wise cams for 10 bucks a piece and flashed them to open webcam firmware. I did that too. I've got a handful of them here in the studio that I flashed to the RTSP firmware, so I can then use a network feed and pick them up as webcams. I have done that as well. Yeah, I have also done that, especially when like the V3 Wise cams came out. Excuse me. Sorry if that was noisy. The V2s were a lot cheaper then. Okay, side fan support. Blip, fan support. This fan support feels so flimsy. I don't love that. I mean, it's got multiple pieces to it, so once it's stacked up with all the pieces, it'll probably feel better, but this is really far away from this foot. What makes this stealth? The angular look of it, like a stealth fighter. God, the access to this screw is terrible. There we go. Yeah, Home Depot had a pallet of the old ones. Yeah, that's where I got mine too. I'm pretty sure Uncle Jesse gave me the heads up that they were having like a big blowout on them. Thinking clearance, not aesthetics? No, it's purely aesthetic. Purely aesthetic. It does match the stealth burner, this is true. It's not using on this machine, also true. Get Weir Hex Plus, plus being the important part. These work, it's not the hex wrench. These are fine. They're ball hex. It's just this design doesn't have good access to those holes. They're, you know, they're not open at the top so you can pass a hex driver down through. Are you adding a bento box? No, I'm going to run a Nevermore in it. I thought about running the bento box, and honestly the Nevermore just looks better. That's all it really came down to for me. I'm not worried about HEPA filtration. I'm worried about chemical filtration, charcoal filtration. And the Nevermore has more charcoal in it, and it looks better. What tool head am I running? I'm going to be running regular Voron skirts have that issue too. Well, I'm pretty sure the newer ones have pass-through holes, don't they? Maybe I'm thinking the V0s. One of my projects is to build some Nevermore Stealth Maxes. What's the Stealth Max? I know there's like a whole bunch of Nevermores actually. I don't remember that one. Hard question. Am I in a pickle making a 9-carat ERCF Ender wire as my first DIY printer? You're going to be learning the hard way on a lot of things. But you know what? I personally say go for it. If you already started your way down that path, go for it. Because you know what? Diving in the deep end sometimes is how you learn. You built a 2.4 recently, it didn't have pass-throughs. I swore they did. I guess I'm wrong. Nope, you're right, they don't. Either way, because of the way this protrudes out a lot more, it's a little more difficult. The hex design's a little more encompassing than it is on the 2.4. I don't know. Oh, I know what you're talking about now. The one that has the circular basket thing, yeah. Stealth Max is huge, but it goes to the top of the printer. Yeah. Okay, I kind of remember what you're talking about now. I've definitely seen it. I have one of the blower fans here. I ordered one of the blower fan that it uses, the cageless fan. Is a V0 a bad choice for my first Voron? No, absolutely not. I think it's actually a pretty solid choice. I think the V0 is a pretty good starting point. It's fiddly. It can be annoying to build a V0, but you'll learn a lot about setting it up, tuning it, all that. I think it's a good starting place. It's where I started. My first Voron was a V0. All right. I don't know. The V0 is more difficult in that you really have to follow the instructions. The V0 is annoying that you have to really listen and pay attention to the instructions.
As long as you do that, you're fine.
But the error, brain fart. Like a Trident is easier to build, but takes a lot longer than a V0 because there's just so much more to it. The V0 can just be kind of audiobook instructions when, yeah, I wish. No, I don't. You need diagrams. We need diagrams. Though I usually listen to books, so I don't read. I don't read these days. I only listen to books. If you can do a V0, you can do any Voron, just go slow. Yep. Agreed. You gotta get Steve to do the instructions. Yeah, do an audiobook. Why are you being stupid? Does that need to be a longer screw? Seems like that might need to be a longer screw. Just get a 250 Trident unless you have a bigger printer. 250 Trident would be a great first Voron, totally. Is this screw too short? I can't tell. Seems like it is. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. Stephen Fry reads the Voron. All right, sure. Let me pull up the CAD real quick and check this for depth. I've got to check instructions. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to change scenes on OBS. This is the right one. Okay, I need to know how deep the thread hole here is. U to from there to there. 7.6. Okay, so that's got to be a 10 millimeter, I think. I do believe that's got to be a 10 millimeter. All right, that answers that question. I don't think I've changed anything on the 3D model since yesterday's stream, so I did a bunch of stuff talking about this yesterday. So workbench cam. I need to keep moving with this. It's almost 7 o'clock, and Steve goes live at 8, so I don't want to run long. M5 by 10, M3 by 12, M3 by... I don't know if I have any M3 by 10s in this kit. I have them. I'm just gonna grab one. Grab my own. I'm on the phone. Is that Fusion? Yes, that was Fusion. That was Fusion. Alright. Tiny screen is tiny. Yeah, that happens. Okay, now that's too long. Why did the 8 not fit? That was like way too long, but this one, this 8 millimeter is way too short. Oh, are these not actually 10s? That might answer that. No, they're M3 by 10s. So why is this M3 by 8 so fucking short? Like, it's barely protruding from this hole. It's not going to engage the threads on the T-nut. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot. Oh. It just didn't push through far enough, despite my trying multiple times. Alright. Yeah, sorry, I didn't give the flashbang warning. For Trident, for Fusion. Sorry. Okay, here's where there really could stand to be a frickin' hex pass-through. I might end up remixing these skirts myself. The new fad is to use a Konami 2 as your screen and not on the tool head. I've been thinking about doing that. I was thinking about putting a Konami 2 on my desk, or like a Konami for each of my printers on my desk, and just have a little lineup of them. Big Tree Tech, I wish I had a way to do that right now. Big Tree Tech offered to give one away on stream. I just haven't had an opportunity to do anything where I felt I could do that. Are the skirts usually this early in the process on a Trident? The feet are usually early in the process. Not so much the skirts. I'm just doing it because I want to see the damn machine with them on. And it'll help me like plan out some wiring stuff and such things. Oh, this is such a bad design. Like the way this protrudes out so much. Okay, I'm gonna end up remixing the stealth skirts, probably. This part protrudes out so darn much here, and you got to get to this hole back here. Let's see if I can switch camera angles. So, bloop. This part protrudes out so much you can't. To get to that, the hex driver goes at such a heavy angle that the ball hex can't engage it. There needs to be a pass-through hole right there. You'd barely see it in the finished design. Like, it just should be there, in my opinion. So, I'm going to use this. I'm going to roll with it, but I'm not quite sure how I'm going to tighten this screw in. Have to use a short hex. I don't have one that short. I'd have to cut one down just to do that. And it's one of those, like, is it not lined up? It might not be lined up. I'm using the short side hex right now, but it's trying to get it started into the T-nut is not easy when you can't spin it, you know, a fair bit. Yeah, see, I just turned it like 3 times with the short side and it won't start. Melt a hole through. I could, you're right. Could drill a hole. Oh god, this is frustrating. And I can't tell if it's just not lined up properly or what, because I can't spin it freely enough. No need to reprint if you have a drill. Yeah. Okay, it's started now at least. It's definitely started. That's something. Okay, it's started. I can slide it over where it needs to be. Heat set pass through. Yeah. Okay, now I can tighten this thing in. This is annoying, but my part printed my last skirt for the back. That's good. So I actually can get these all done. Come on, quarter turn at a time. Quarter turn at a time, come on. Ay, 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 ay. This is a kind of thing that if I wasn't on stream right now, I'd be fucking cursing up a fit. This is aggravating. And these are the kind of design elements where I'm like, I get that it looks good, but come on. Things need to be more functional. There we go. Part of the problem is I can't see the hex to even tell when I'm engaging it. Like, so I'm probably half just spinning on top of the hex screw, not actually in the recess of it. It feels like I'm clicking down into it, but I can't see it to tell. I know it's way easier to match color if you use one filament for everything, but what do you think about printing internal parts in ABS and outside parts in PLA? Totally doable. Just throw the printer, that'll make it feel better. Yeah, it'll make it everything better. Use pliers on a 1/4 inch bit. Could. Okay. It's tight now. V0 thermistor went bad. Okay, one tight. Yay. That's hot. Whew. That's a hotbed. Hot plate up. One of my skirt pieces. Yeah, like you can get away with PLA for skirts. There's no reason you can't. You're right, I do have to do the other side now. Yay! Yay! Just what I want to do. So I'm going to put that piece back there in, I think. Give myself a momentary break. Give myself a momentary break. Did that not? That's not in. That is definitely not in. This one roll-in's not properly seated, so there's no way this screws in. Thoughts on PLA versus PETG? I really don't use PETG anymore, personally. I just don't use PLA or PETG much anymore. Just it doesn't serve much purpose for me on most materials. It's a little too it gives a little too much for my mechanical purposes. Ugh. This T-nut got sideways, and I think it got cross-threaded. That's not good. Alright, it's in there. Yeah, I don't have much use for PETG anymore, personally. I use ABS or ASA for pretty much everything these days, personally. There's plenty of beautiful ABS and ASA free Loctite, exactly. There's plenty of beautiful, like everything from here to that wall is ASA or ABS on the rep rack here. So like, it looks great, I think. Plenty of beautiful colors up there. Okay, so I remixed this skirt. It's the Keystone skirt. But now I've got this pass-through hole is for there's a hole right here for the wires to go to a filament runout sensor. And then over here is where my umbilical cord will pass through. Yeah, my umbilical pass-through right there. So it'll head up along the back panel through that hole. Okay. Now. Let's drop the M3x8. Norton Tech, welcome, hello. Hello and welcome. Why doesn't it have the black outline? Because this isn't supposed to have the black outline, but I don't feel like reprinting these parts and wasting filament. The only reason those parts have the black outline currently is because I ran out of the dark gray filament 3/4 of the way through printing these parts, and they weren't going to show up for a couple days, so I just finished the parts with black because they're on the back of the machine. I'm like, screw it. But this one I had enough material to do with the proper color. So that's why. That's the answer to that. Ugh, this is a tight fit. There we go. Norton Tech, you better not be that antivirus. Yeah. I think that every time Norton shows up in the chat. All right. See, that's way easier. That's way easier. Have you, Ditto, you're saying you've played with sanding ASA. Have you tried acetone smoothing it? You want to get it to look like it's clear coated, acetone smooth it. Swear I'm not as bad. First time I get to see my stealth skirt variant in a Trident stream. Christian, welcome! Thank you for creating it. Yes, some of the screws are awfully fiddly. Everything fits beautifully except some of the screws. You probably came in after I was swearing about those. So, yes, thank you for making it. Some of the screws are, in fact, the last one I'm about to put in is awfully fiddly. This front piece, it was driving me insane. So, I'm about to put it on again. Or do this one. Do the front one. The second front one. Yeah. That the access to this one, the one closest to the screen, is kind of infuriating. Everything else has been fine. I don't know, Christian, if you saw, I did remix your screen mount for one that's more available here in the S. It just came on, yeah. I put on the other side of this a little bit ago when I was cursing at it. Why does it seem like that hole's too big? Yeah. So, yeah, I just remixed it for the US available screen. So. Gotta print a new swear jar. Yeah, I swear on screen, not in videos. Or in live, not on videos. So. I make a point of not swearing in videos, but stream, I do not care. Thanks for doing it for the wave share screen. No problem. Yeah, that I would have used what you had, but I just could not find it in the US, and I know I saw a handful of people having that same problem. So figured I'd just do it. Come on, you can do it. Hey, this one started a lot easier. That's good. That's a good start. They're also really common here in the EU. Good. Yeah, I think WaveShare has really good market share. Gotta love community contributions. Yeah. Oh, my neck. I need to go take a hot shower, loosen my neck up after this. I don't know why. It's getting tight. Come on. You can do it. Live streams are live and unscripted. You just gotta let what happens happens. Exactly. They've got a good wave share, one could say. Yes, they do. A good wave share of the market. All right. Come on. A few more turns in this screw. Come on. Yes. It's getting tight. One more turn, it'll be tight. Really like the color scheme. Thank you. All right, I'm going to flip this around, and we'll get the screen in. All right. I wish I could get these M5s that I accidentally put in here. Tight neck, usually pillow not supporting your neck anymore. Yeah, I could probably stand to put some, redo the foam in my pillow. I've got like a memory foam pillow that you can, I got one of them out, that you can replace the foam in. Probably need some more, you're right. We went months, Ruby and I searched for pillows to find just the right pillow. It is
This is gray anodized extrusions. They are not raw. They are gray anodized extrusions. Come on. I don't know if this one's coming out. I got lucky on the first one. Yeah, I think that one's living in there. That's fine. I feel like every build I ever do ends up with at least one extra living in there. Color scheme is absolute banger, not because of the blue, but because of the dark gray. I agree. I think the dark gray just really has a... finally bought a $100 rock hard fit memory foam. Yeah, mine's like a memory foam filled one. I had one I liked for years. I couldn't get it again. Ruby and I do yoga every night. Getting to be almost 40, you know. So we do yoga every night, and we focus on our necks a lot because we both work at desks a lot. And so, love the Polymaker Dark Gray. I agree. This is Polymaker Dark Gray ASA. It is Polymaker Dark Gray ASA. All right, get these set up. All right, time to put the screen in. Where'd I put it? I had it yesterday when we were talking about it on stream. I had it yesterday. Had too much stuff in here. This place was organized for like a day. It was organized for like a day. What the heck? Oh, there it is. Nope, that's not it. The old one is over there before I printed the original one that Christian made before I realized that the WaveShare screen didn't fit it. I don't know where I put the WaveShare screen one. Oh. It's right behind me. I just couldn't see it because I am blind, apparently. Time for a new shop organization video. The problem is I just need to clean the other side of the studio. Builds are always more searching than building. I agree. I agree. I just need to clean the other side of the studio so I can organize things better. That's the problem. Bloop. All right. Love my BZ bots and Vorons, but I'm considering a bamboo. Honestly, I use my bamboo all the time. I don't use my bamboo as much anymore, but I still do. Build series seems a lot more relaxed than Earth. Absolutely. You are very correct about that. I wonder if Polymaker Galaxy Dark Gray ASA is as nice. I mean, the Galaxy filaments are the exact same filaments, just with glitter in them. So, like, this blue is Galaxy Blue, and I have regular blue ASA, and it's exactly the same color, except the Galaxy just has sparkle in it. So, if you like this color, I'm sure it's probably, if not the same, very, very close. Polymaker's really good about keeping their colors consistent between the different materials. That was one of the problems I ran into with when I was complaining about one of the colors being named what I felt was a poor name. They didn't want to rename it to what I thought it should be named because it would have created an inconsistency between like PLA and ABS or something like that. And I totally understood that point, so fair on them. All right, feet away from flipping this over. I don't know where the feet are right now. That's the bed. Motion system. let's change fans. I don't know where the feet are. Oh, here they are. What screen size is that? It is a 5-inch. It is a Waveshare 5-inch. What gray is this? Is that? It is Polymaker Gray, a dark gray ASA. Polymaker dark gray ASA. There we go. Feetsies. Multicolor Voron with the AMS, totally. I've been trying to like not use that much lately, personally, but I did use it on this. I don't know where the parts that I printed. I printed one thing for this multicolor on the bamboo. I gotta organize today. I think after the stream I need to do a cleanup. I printed some of my... Oh, I see them. They're over next to the bamboo. I printed my corner support braces for the front of here. Bloop. In multicolor. So, change color, or camera angle. Yeah. So, that's multicolor off of the X1. So it's the dark gray on the outside and then the galaxy blue on the inside on the webbing of the hack of it. Raise the desk so you can see a little better. Yeah, that. So I mostly do manual swaps. Like all the skirts, the multicolor on the skirts of this machine are totally color swaps. These were all printed on my Voron 2.4. They were not printed using the AMS or anything like that. The skirts on this build are just layer height changes. Yeah. You can see it from the cross section. Bloop. So you can see the cross section there. You can see light gray, then blue, then dark gray. So this is just color layer height changes. What print orientation does this print in? This prints laying flat. It's recessed on this side and flat on the back side. Help if I hold it. We're a little better in camera. It's flat on that side and then recessed on this side. Does it help input shaper? No idea. We're gonna find out. I'll probably maybe wait to put them on until after I get this thing running. Do an input shaper graph, then put them in just to see if it makes a difference. I don't know if it will or not. They're mostly aesthetic. I originally designed them for a machine, my Ender 5, when I removed the top bar from my Ender 5 to help support the frame. So there it made a lot of sense. For this, probably not. I think it might help reduce some like minor vibration in the frame. So it has potential to improve input shaper, but I don't know for sure. Okay, footsies. Where's my mouse? Extra bling is always nice. Agreed. Agreed. M5 by 16 is the original. This isn't that thick. .5. Maybe. Actually, yeah. M5 by 16 looks like about the right size. Tor in the house. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Alright. Let's get these feet on here. Gotta get this nut into the base. Doesn't want to recess in there, right? Recess in there. There we go. And screw it down. Yeah, okay. M5 by 16 it is. I'm gonna have to use longer ones when the bottom panel comes in, but I'll worry about that when the bottom panel comes in. That'll be a concern for when the panel shows up. Probably won't be till the end of the week anyway, so. I think after today I might have to clean up this and move on to another project for the rest of the week. Tighten down. There we go. Didn't want to recess into its home. Go into your home. Cool. Alright. Front footsies. Front feets. And then we can flip this over and take a look at the stealth skirts actually properly installed, minus the fans on the side. I could install the fans, but I ordered new fans for this. I ordered new fans, so I don't think I printed the fan side pieces yet. Got these logo pieces. That doesn't stay tight. GDS time fans or something else. I ordered Sunons, not Sunons. Sanyos. I think I ordered Sanyo fans. I ordered some fans that were quiet off of DigiKey. I always go on DigiKey and I sort by sound level. And then I look for what has decent airflow but still quiet, and that's what I ordered. I constantly film around my machines, so they need to be quiet. I can't have a loud machine running in the background while I'm filming a video, but I can if it's decently quiet. Even if I have to slow it down just for the period of time while I'm filming, that's fine. To make it a little quieter, that's great, but I ordered some Sunon fans, like the main board cooling fan that I designed is going to be a Sunon fan. I ordered fans. Actually, I ordered deltas to cool the motors on this. The A and B motors are going to be cooled by delta fans. And I ordered something for the electronics box, but I forget what they were. Okay. Skirts are done. Done. It for now. As done as they're going to get. Noise canceling mics are great. Noise cancellation causes audio distortion no matter what you do. And I'm very anal about making my videos sound good, and I get complimented on the audio quality of my videos all the time, so I'm pretty picky. The best noise cancellation is not having to use noise cancellation, is the best way to put that. It's the same thing with, like, you know, denoising your video to get rid of grain. The best way to get rid of noise is to not have noise. Like, you get better lighting and to control things a little bit better. Did you order any finger protection for those fans? No. I ordered, I think they're like 3,000 RPM deltas. They're delta fans, and they are server, like 28 millimeter long, 40 millimeter fans. They're server fans. But they're like 30 dBA, like quiet server fans that only flow like 12 CFM, maybe 13 CFM. So I still will probably design some finger protection for them, but they should be fine. All right, skirted. Skirts are on. Let's put this up. Go up. All right. Higher than I wanted. Cool. Skirts on. Great, Vic. I'll watch the stream again tomorrow to see what could be improved. Awesome. Honestly,
you'll hear me griping and getting pissed off about it. It's the access to those screws there. I think there really just needs to be a pass-through hole to access that, like a straight-through hole to put this screw in. It's not going to kill the look of it, I don't think. That's the big gripe. But yeah. So, okay. There's that. A little less than half an hour till Steve, or a little over half an hour till Steve goes live. My server fans are 140 dB at full go. No, thank you. The Dark Knight Rises. No stealth for the 2.4. Yeah, because the 2.4 has the Z motors built in. Nobody's done it yet, unfortunately. I know Christian, I think I saw in the comments, said it couldn't justify the time for it. Understandable. Everybody can choose their own if they just have... Yeah, I mean, just copy. That's a good idea. Just punch the hole in and give them an option. Personally, I would accept the look for how much easier it would have been to install. Have to grab my hearing protection, turn my server on. All right, I'm going to bring this down again. Let me grab the other camera angle. We'll get a closer look at this real quick, and then I will put the motors in, and we'll call this done, I think. Change camera angles so you folks can see what I see. Okay, let's get the motors in this thing. Ah, those skirts do look so good. I do have all the parts to build this all. Yes, I do. I love the profile of the skirt to the LCD. Honestly, like, Christian nailed the look of this thing so much. The overall, like, bravo to you, Christian. The overall design of those skirts, killer. Overall design, absolutely nailed it. Alright, I gotta look at the CAD real quick. You can make a plug to cover the hole after you install too. Oh, you could do that. You could make a plug to go in there. You're right. That's a little more work, but that is doable. Okay, this side goes up. That side goes down. Alright, I'm going to put this side in. I work in data centers. When I am on site, I either am hot or cold or can't hear for an hour after I leave. I get that. That would drive me nuts. It would drive me nuts. I'm not good with noise and temperature like that. Ugh. Front reminds me of a spaceship or an early 2000s Civic tuning with a giant iPad in the middle. Hey, sure. The skirts in black would be really Batman-y. It could be great for a Batman theme build, like black and yellow with some gray maybe. Motors. Motors, motors, motors. I don't know which way I want the motors to orient the wire, because I need to have enough wire, because this design with the 9mm belt setup on this, the motors are the tensioners, so I can't have it face toward the frame without having some excess wire in there, which I could do. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'll just do a little loop of wire. So that's the minimal length I'll need. All right. There's bearing supports. Could you post a link to the STLs for the skirt? Sure. That's Christian's design on printables. Bloop. I'm the only one who can post links, unfortunately, so I will do that real quick. Towards the back. No, that would go too close to the panel for my liking. Yeah, I gotta get the covers on. I printed the covers in light gray. It's almost the only place I use the light gray. I printed the covers for the fan in light gray, and then the logo that goes in the middle is the blue. I wanted some point of like difference, different color popping in here. So, all right, I got it here. Dropping it in the chat in a moment. Yes, my remix. Good call. Boop. There it is. Stop it. Social. That's not what I wanted. Social copy share UL. Yeah. And then the second link is for my remix that allows mounting of the WaveShare screen. Christian is in Germany, I believe, and the screen that he had access to and used for his design is not available in the US. So I remixed it to accept a WaveShare screen that is more readily available here. I got a little poop in this print. I'm cleaning up real quick. I'll add the link to the skirts in the description after the stream as well. So if you want to come back here and find them again, they'll be here. Yeah, I mean, that other one seems fine. Just, why use Thangs over printables? I use Thangs because they are sponsored. That's why I started using Thangs. I get paid for downloads off Thangs. So, it doesn't cost you folks anything. My downloads are free, but they pay me for every download that you folks download of my designs. Largely why I use Thangs. I like Thangs. Like, they've been good to me. They've been good folks. I communicate with them on a regular basis. They're really receptive to my input and like critiques of their platform and everything. So I genuinely like Thangs. I wouldn't work with them if I didn't. But yeah, they pay me. And Printables doesn't pay. Printables pays you in Prusa meters, which gets you free filament, but I've got filament. Thangs can also search other sites. I like that about them. I'll often go to Thangs rather than Google searching because it does a better job. Like Google, you find all kinds of garbage, and Thangs does a better job on that, I find. All right. Motors. Okay, there's a bearing support that needs to go in here. And motion system parts. So I need bearings. Because of the shaft length on these motors, I'm going to move the other camera in a second. Because of the shaft length on these motors, the designer Double T put a bearing support in for, I don't know if this is going to work. Oh, yeah, this will work. Double T put a bearing support in for this. So, I like that. I don't know if I like... Alright, whatever. Not much I can do about that. The flanged bearing goes in from underneath, and it doesn't fit particularly tight. I might put a drop of glue on it just to help it. Thangs does require an account to download, yes. Because they're tracking my downloads or other people's downloads for, information. Like, if I get paid for downloads, they have to know who's downloading my designs. I don't get paid if one person goes and just, like, spam downloads the same file over and over again. So they require an account. I'm sure there's various reasons why they require an account, but that is
one that I'm aware of. Oh, my super glue is glued shut. Yeah, these bearings are just I remixed these parts, so I might have opened up the tolerances a little more than I should have in here. I don't know. I'm just going to drop a glue in here so that these bearings sit in here and don't come out. Because the last thing I want is them dropping down onto my motors. Drippy drop. I don't know if this is definitely not, I'm sure, the intended situation with these. I think it might be that I remixed these and might have opened up a tolerance. I'm not aware. I don't remember. It's been weeks since I remixed these. It can be annoying. I get that. It's annoying from my perspective, actually, too. Having to log in on things. What's annoying for me is when I load my own models, it senses that it's me loading my model, and it kicks me into like a dashboard that's only for creators. But I actually want to look at the public facing page more often, and so I have to like go through an extra step to get through the public facing page. It's dumb that it happens that way, but it happens that way. I gotta find the motor pulleys. They're in here somewhere. Motor pulleys. Thank you, Fabrico, for the parts for the 9mm belt conversion on this, as well as for the kinematic bed mount we're going to be using on here soon. But now I got to find where the pulleys are. Here somewhere. Should be here. Oh, there they are. Pulleys. Pulleys, pulleys, pulleys. Cool. Alright. Back up you go. I love having a standing desk as a workbench. It is so handy. Alright. I want to move the other camera angle so I get a better view on the motor area. Cool. All right. Change cameras. And let's get a motor in here. Motor comes up through the bottom, goes through this carrier piece, and the pulley's got to go on as the motor goes through. Or actually, it doesn't have to go on, actually, now that I think about it. But it does have to go. No, it does. So this needs to go up through here. My tech review. Welcome. This pulley goes downward. Then this bearing support on the top goes over the shaft of the motor, and then the screw goes down through everything. There's this carriage piece that the 9mm belts ride on. 9mm belts are definitely exciting. What voltage is 48? I'm going to be running 48 volts. I will be running 48 volts on the stepper motors here. Got a UHP power supply, so I'll be running 48 volts on the AB motors. 24 on everything else, of course. All right. Now I need a couple more of these 50s. Well, I will in a second. All right. I did cut down the motor shafts already. They used to be like this tall. Now they are obviously this tall. They were like 80 millimeters. Now they're 50. I cut them down to 50. Actually, this kit calls for 55 millimeter shaft motors, but they would stick out another 5 millimeters for no particular reason. And I'm worried with the longer shaft on the motors. I was worried the umbilical could get behind the motor shaft and get stuck. That was my concern. So I cut them down a little more than they needed to be for that reason. I don't see. I wanted to see if I had some button head screws, but I don't. Should I make a 9mm Voron tap mod? No, I believe they mean the 9mm belt setup like this. That'd be interesting. I have no interest in running tap, personally. But I see why people do. So, I'm sure some folks would be really interested in that. Especially a project like this, where I'm chasing grams on the project, trying to get, like, reduce weight. I have no interest in a tap, but I can see why other folks would want that. Okay, now this side. Second verse, same as the first. I'll change the camera again. Da, 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 da. 20 minutes till Steve goes live. Alright, this goes up through here. Pulley facing upward. Bearing support piece. Where did I put the bearing support? I think the screws might be on top of it. Screws were on top of it. There's Flex Tap now, which has a flex... interesting. I don't want the additional weight on the tool head, personally. More interested in load cell nozzle probing. Load cell nozzle probing is certainly coming. It's definitely in the works. I don't know about for Vorons or anything, but that's what the Magneto X has a load cell for nozzle probing. And I know the Magneto, like the folks at PO Poly, have been working with the Clipper team on getting load cell integration into mainline Clipper. They've been working on that. So it's coming. Like a few of us have talked about, or I think they actually asked us, the PO Poly folks, if we thought people would be interested in like just their load cell and the things that go with it. And I think the folks would be. So, like nozzle probing in general. I get that. I totally get liking nozzle probing. I 100% get it, but is that what the A1 uses? Yeah, effectively. That's what bamboos use in general is well, no. Bamboos use bed sensor. I don't know what the A1 uses. It's what the Prusa Mark IV uses nozzle probing, as does the XL with a load cell. So it's a strain gauge, effectively. It detects the load and strain on the nozzle when it presses against the load. It has potential to function as do you use Clicky as your Z end stop? I do not. I personally use a sex bolt mod, so the regular style of Z end stop, and I probably will put that on here too, despite the fact that I'm running beacon. I just like having a dedicated end stop. I don't like relying on a probe for end stopping, because if that probe just screws up one time, you're driving your tool head into the bed. You know, if it screws up during a probing, that's a little different. But if it fails during Z-homing, that's annoying. Alright. And now I gotta put the the tension screw in here, and our motors are in. Maybe we'll put the X rail on still in this stream. Had that happen many times with Clipper and a BL Touch. Yeah. I like having a physical end stop switch. I'm going to be running it on this despite the fact that I'm going to have a beacon. I also really like with Clicky. When running Clicky,
which I like my 2.4, I run clicky, and I have a separate Z end stop switch with a sex bolt mod. I really like that because I run Z auto calibrate. Some dirt in here. I run Z auto calibrate, so it probes the nozzle off of the Z end stop, and then it probes the clicky probe off of the Z end stop, and it measures the difference between the two. I'm running PCB clicky. I just converted to PCB clicky, and I'm finding it way more reliable than standard clicky. Really happy about that choice. Zombie Hedgehog, back-to-back-to-back streams. Yeah, I'm trying to get this project done. I need it. I want this machine up and running ASAP. Auto Z calibrate measures the difference between the nozzle height and the probe height so that it can then set your Z offset every single time. So if you change nozzles or your bed is like sitting ever so slightly different on the magnet or whatever, it resets your Z offset every single time, and it works to make beautiful first layers in my experience. I love that. I'm gonna miss that on this, but I think that's the reason my heat break is slightly bent. I also worry about nozzle probing ruining my bed. I know there's like dodge. There's like the fuzziness of your probing, so it won't probe the exact same spot every single time. But like, I know like the Creality K1. While I had the Creality K1, I started to notice the spots on the bed where it was nozzle probing. Personally. Great results with PCB clicky, 003 deviation on QGL. Yeah, I forget what I'm set at. I think I'm set at 0025 on QGL, and yeah, I've never tried unclicky, just haven't gotten to it. I'm already seeing spots on my smooth plate with from West 3D with tap. Yeah, just I don't know. I get the idea of why nozzle probe is great, but I just don't. I don't know. I don't think it's for me. I don't think nozzle probes are for me. It's 30. I think I need. I don't think 30 is going to reach. I think I need a 35. Yeah, I need a 35. I don't have any black 35s. I need, if anybody knows a good source to get black, like this hardware that LDO includes, I think it's low quality stainless. Like it's got a high carbon content. It's still ferrous. It's magnetic. But I need to find a source to get these for projects. Because like right now I have regular shiny stainless motor screws because I don't have any 50mm M3 black screws to put in there. Anyway, if anybody knows where to find black stainless steel screws, M3, please let me know. I would love to stock some in inventory. Amazon has some. I've tried looking. They have black oxide. That's steel with black coating on it. That's not the same. Those will rust. Black oxide coating will rust. This is like a passivated black coating on stainless screws. It's different. DFH loves black fasteners. Maybe I'll have to look at those. Alright, look at DFH. Alright. There's a AliExpress shipper or company with them, but their shipping is terrible. That sinks, but kind of life with AliExpress sometimes, you know. I usually wait till I tried McMaster Car. You know, honestly, I forgot to look at McMaster Car. But McMaster doesn't generally have... I've bought a lot of hardware from McMaster over the years, but I don't know if they have that. I'll look. Yeah, I don't think I have looked there, so I will. Should nudge Jason to sell standalone hardware kits. Yeah. Just reorder a few Voron screw kits. Yeah, I like the hardware on my 2.4. I forget where I got it from, but it's black. It's what I want, so I should really just buy a couple of kits. But the problem with that is these kits they're not equal.
all things. So like, you know, it'll come with 50 M3x8, but only 4. Like this kit only came with 4 M3x50s. Well, I'd like to have a bunch of M3x50s, you know? So like, I'd be buying a bunch of kits and then have a ton of one thing and only a few of another, you know. I gotta find the right way to make that happen. All right. Oh, that's not in. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Motors are in. Our motors are in. So, motor tensioner plate here has a screw that goes through to this carriage that this motor's installed with on, and it'll pull to pull our belt tighter because the belt will go that way. All right, motors are in. Let's see. We got 15 minutes, like less than 15 minutes till Steve goes live. I'm gonna throw the X-Rail in here a while, and then we're gonna call it. Steve goes live in 15 minutes, and I don't want to step on his stream, so let's throw the X-Rail in here, and then I think we're calling it. For anybody who's not familiar, I am running Physect. Whoop. Physect provided one of these, their hollow rail. It's got these milled out sections on the back side of an MGN 12 rail. So that will reduce the MGN 12 X-Rail weight by 50 grams. So it's a 50 gram lighter rail with stainless steel and Z1 preload. So I think I'm going to lean this on its back to put this on because it's just going to be easier. Aircraft spruce. Oh, that's a good one. I haven't gone to Aircraft Spruce in years. That's a good call. I'll look there. I bought rivets from, Aircraft Spruce is where I used to get them when I was building cars. Like, true aircraft rivets. Alright. Now, this goes on here. I'm going to change that camera angle so you folks can see a little better. Isn't anodizing done for aluminum? Anodizing can be done on titanium, aluminum. I forget. It can be... Titanium can be anodized as well. It's a different process, a slightly different process. And I'm fairly sure stainless can be anodized. Some grades of stainless. It is most commonly done on aluminum, yes. Alright. Titanium is very easy to anodize. Titanium anodizing can be done at home. I really wanted to get titanium hardware in stock. I really wanted to get titanium hardware in stock, and I started like adding it up off of like AliExpress to buy a bunch of titanium hardware, but the price added up very fast. The price added up very fast, and I said, you know what? To save that like gram of weight, it's a lot of money for the gram I would have saved or whatever. So I did not do it. Okay, these rails. I forget. Is this rail MGN or M3x8 or 6 screws? M3x8s. Okay. All right. Lock tight. Change camera angles. Boop. Let's get some screws in this thing and get this done. Got my little alignment jiggies. Thingies. Get on there. Alignment jiggy thingies. The technical term. Yeah, I used to have hardware or the stuff to do titanium anodizing, but then I have to get titanium hardware. Alright. M3x8s. I think I'm going to use silver M3x8s on this. Because why not? Put one in and then Loctite the rest.
Loctite. Yeah, since this rail's stainless, I'm going to use the regular stainless screws here, because then I get to keep the M3x8 black ones that were supposed to be there, or that came with the kit. Exactly. The rail's silver, so why not? Exactly. All right. What humidity am I in here? The humidity is like generally around 30% at the most. Enough so that I don't have an issue needing to dry filament. I've really not found any need. People are always like, oh, your filament all out like that. It's got to be terrible. You have to dry it all the time. I never dry filament. Very, very rarely. I don't know if it's just because I go through it fast enough that it doesn't have a chance to need it, or what, but yeah. I am so shaky. I'm just a shaky person. It's just how it is. Not a great attribute in a welder, but here we are. This one I didn't put Loctite on. All right. Start in the middle, work my way out, and tighten these. I dry TPU. TPU I definitely dry. I mean, that's just, you need to dry TPU. That's all there is to it. PLA and ABS don't need much drying. Agreed. I find ASA doesn't really either, personally. I know some folks, I know Steve mentioned ASA and nylons. Yeah, I haven't found a need to dry ASA. Some of my ASA is getting a little stringy, and I was thinking maybe it's time to start drying it, but I also wonder if the nozzle on my 2.4 is not getting a little worn out. Tight. I kind of crisscross tighten rails. I don't know if I need to. Yeah, I bounce back and forth, working my way out from the middle. And just to see what I... PHG, TPU, and nylon. Yeah, I don't print with nylon enough. I've heard white ABS is problematic, but is white everything can be a little problematic. It's something to do with the way white is achieved in filament, like dyeing process. I forget what it is, but there's something about white. I rarely print with white. I don't like the way it looks. So yeah, it uses the same pigment. Yeah, I have not had a problem with Polymaker white ASA personally, but I have heard people have issues. Well, I'm gonna put the carriage on real quick. I might as well. Where'd I put it? If I can find it quickly, I'll put it on. Oh. Put the carriage on. Boop. Carriage plate. Put the carriage plate on, and then we're going to call it because Steve is going live in a couple of minutes, and I don't want to interfere with his stream. How's that supposed to work? Oh, shit. Well, here's an issue. This carriage plate is meant to fit on a short MGN12 carriage. The MGN12, what is that? The MGN12H? No, this is MGN12H. It's meant to fit on a regular MGN12, whatever the narrower carriage is. It's hitting the, it's hitting here. Unless, is it meant to go this way? I swore it's meant to go the other way. Yeah, because the belts come this way, and the teeth, yeah, it should be this way. So, belt clips go in the front. Okay, maybe that's why. It's entirely possible I might have put them on there wrong. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. Yes, you're right, because there's a step. There's a step here that the belt clips are on. I'm wrong. Teeth face out. Belt teeth face out. Yes, so it goes this way, and then the belt sandwiches between this and the carriage. That's the way it's supposed to be, but this way, I believe. Bloop. Yeah, that's the bottom. Okay. Okay, so what size screws do I need here? Probably 8s or 10s. Nope, 8s. 8s, 8s, 8s. Alright. A few more. Well, this is going to have to come back off when the belts go on, so I'm just going to put it on here anyway, just kind of mock it up. I put it on here to mock it up. He didn't drill this one. You are right. Didn't dive right into drilling. Don't be so quick to drill. Don't be like me. I'll probably replace these with button heads as well. No reason to have this tied up. And button heads, fun fact, button heads are lighter. I like button heads personally. I prefer button heads because they have a slightly larger. This tool head mount is 9mm compatible. Yes, double T. I specifically ordered this one. This is the 9mm version. There's a 9mm and a 6mm version. Vitali doesn't have a 9mm one, but this is like the AliExpress special one, and it does have a 9mm. I've been meaning to contact Vitali and say, hey, it'd be great if you made a 9mm version. I would have gone to that if I could. All right, there we go. We've got stealth skirts on. We've got the X-rail on. We've got the motors in place. Just watched the last stream. Welcome to this one. We're about to end. Thank you for being here, though, Truggy. Appreciate it. So, stealth skirts are on. Our motors are in place. Our X carriage is on there. Yeah. And we are... this is coming together pretty quick and wobbly. This is going good. This thing is going to be sick when it's done. Alright, folks. I got 3 minutes till Steve goes live, and I don't want to bug him or step on his toes. So this is where we're going to wrap it up. I appreciate everybody for being here, for coming and hanging out and chatting. This has been an excellent stream. Better turnout than last night, and I announced last night earlier, so excellent. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for watching. If you're not already, please subscribe to this channel. This is not the Mandic Really channel. This is Mandic Labs. This is the stream channel. So, oh, I should rate him. That's a very good point. Let me drop Steve's stream in the chat. Steve is going live any minute now. He's working on his Milo build. And please like as well. Yes, thank you. I'm going to pull up his stream real quick. I believe he's... Oh, no, he's working on his... modifying his 2.4. It looks like. I thought he was working on his Milo. No, that was Nero who worked on his Milo earlier today. Yeah, okay. Dropping it in the chat now. Steve's going live any moment now, folks. So, go check it out. After this, I gotta go get something to eat. Thank you for being here, folks. Thanks for helping save myself from myself for the few little errors here and there. Christian, thank you for... Christian, there is the designer of these stealth skirts. Thank you for providing these to the community. Really appreciate it. They look sick. So... And Double T is the designer of the 9mm belt setup that I'm using on here as well. So, we've got designers of the parts that I'm using for this project in the stream. Thank you each and every person who stopped by, hung out with us, chatted. It's been an excellent stream. Thank you so much, folks. And I will catch you... Oh, I always forget these things. Okay, patreon.com/mandicreally to help support what it is that I do, because this channel is not monetized yet. So I would appreciate it if anybody can justify backing on Patreon. It really helps out. This project, LDO Motors provided the 300mm Trident Cube frame for this thing. Thank you so much to LDO Motors for that. It's letting us build this entire thing. Fabrico provided the Double T 9mm belt setup and some additional components for this. Thank you to them. Physek provided the lightweight linear rail and the lightweight CNC gantry for this. Thank you to them. And Polymaker, our filament sponsor. For all the filament used on here, it's all Polymaker ASA. Thank you folks for coming around. I appreciate it. Appreciate you for being here, hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Go watch Steve stream. So, see ya!